What if I told you that every single straight line, from the edge of your desk to a ray of light, is written in a secret code? Well, today, we're going to crack that code. And don't worry, this isn't some complex math problem. Think of it like a puzzle, and then we're going to solve it together.
And no, that's not an exaggeration. Every single straight line, whether you draw it in a notebook or find it stretching across the cosmos, follows one simple, really elegant rule. It's like one secret code that governs them all.
And here it is. This is the secret code. Y equals ax plus b. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Letters and numbers, this looks complicated. But stick with me. By the end of this, you're going to see that a and b are just two super simple instructions, and you'll be able to read this language fluently. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get familiar with our map, the graph itself. Then we're going to decode the two key parts of our code, a, which is the slope, and b, the starting point. Once we've got those down, we'll put our knowledge to the test and actually plot a line. And to finish up, we'll learn how to look at any line and instantly understand the story it's telling. Ready? Let's do this.
All right, first up, the graph. Before we can even think about drawing our line, we really need to understand the canvas it lives on. Think of this as our foundation. If we get these basics right, everything else is going to make perfect sense.
So what is a graph, really? Honestly, just think of it as a picture. That's it. It's a picture that shows us the relationship or the link between two numbers that we call x and y. It's just a visual story about how two things are connected. And this map is surprisingly simple. You see that flat line running left to right? That's our x-axis. And the one going straight up and down? That's the y-axis. Any specific spot on this graph is just like a street address, written as x, y. It tells you exactly where to go.
Okay, our canvas is all set. Now for the first part of our code, decoding the slope, or a. This one little letter tells us one of the most important things about any line, just how steep it is.
So the official term for a is the slope. Sometimes you might hear it called the gradient, but don't let that throw you. All it means is how steep is the line. Is it a gentle hill or a steep mountain? A tells us exactly that.
And check this out. A can really only tell one of three stories. If a is a positive number, our line is going uphill from left to right. If a is negative, it's headed downhill. And what if a is 0? Well, then the line is just perfectly flat. Uphill, downhill, or flat. That's it. Let's make this real. So, take the equation y equals 2x. Here, our slope a is a positive 2. That means we're on an upward journey. You can think of it like walking up a hill, or maybe watching a price go up over time. Now, let's just flip that. For y equals negative 1x, our a is negative 1, so the journey is now downhill. It's like a ramp going down, or a slide at the playground. The line falls as you move from left to right. And for our final case, a zero slope. An equation like y equals 0x plus 3 actually simplifies to just y equals 3. Why? Because 0 times anything is just 0, so the x part basically disappears. This gives us a perfectly horizontal line, just like walking on completely flat ground. No steepness at all. Okay, we've totally got a down. That's the steepness. Now for the second part of the code, the starting point, which is b. So if a tells us the direction of the journey, b tells us exactly where that journey begins. The official term for b is the intercept. More specifically, it's the y-intercept. But that's just a fancy way of saying it's the exact point where our line crosses that vertical y-axis. It's our line's home base, its starting position on the map. And you know what the best part is? There's no calculation needed here. You just have to look at the equation. In y equals 2x plus 3, the b is 3. That just means the line crosses the vertical axis right there at the number 3. And y equals negative x plus 5, b is 5. So it starts at 5. It's literally that simple. So, we've decoded A and we've decoded B. I think it's time we put this code into action. Let's move from just understanding the pieces to actually building a line from scratch.
So the big question is, how do we go from the code to the actual picture? Let's take this equation right here. Y equals 2x minus 1. How in the world do we translate that into a line on our graph?
Well, it's just a simple four-step recipe. First, we just pick a few easy numbers for x. Second, we use our equation to figure out the matching y value for each one. Third, we plot those xy addresses on our graph. And finally, we just connect the dots with a nice straight line. Let's give it a shot. The easiest way to keep this organized is with a simple table, just like this one.
So if we choose x to be -1, our formula, that's 2 times -1 minus 1, tells us y has to be -3. And boom, that gives us our first address, -1, -3. Then we just do that again for a few more easy x values like 0, 1, and 2. And just like that, we have all the points we need to draw our line.
Fantastic. We've decoded the formula and even built a line. So for our final section, let's flip the script. Instead of writing the story, we're going to learn how to read it. I promise, by the end of this, you'll be able to look at any straight line and know exactly what it means.
So, when you're looking at a line on a graph, what story is it actually telling you? What can you figure out just by glancing at it?
All you have to do is ask a few simple visual questions. First, just look at the direction. Is it going up or down? That tells you right away if A is positive or negative. Next, where does it cross that vertical y-axis? That's your B. Then check out the steepness. Is it a really steep climb or more of a gentle slope? That tells you if A is a big number or a small one. You can even find specific points. Just pick a number on the x-axis, go up to the line, and see where you land on the y-axis.
And really, that's all there is to it. You've cracked the code. That simple little formula, y equals ax plus b, isn't a mystery anymore. It's a story. And now, you know how to read it.
So, what's the big takeaway here? You've basically learned to speak a new language, the language of lines. Now that you can build them from code and you can read their stories on a graph, the only question left is, what other mathematical stories are you ready to uncover next?